Hello, my beautiful vloggers. It's your girl Shay, and I am here to bring you the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 12, Episode 2. Episode title is It's Either My Way or the Feng Shui. So go ahead, like and subscribe, and make sure you check out the timestamps in the description box because they'll be there in case you want to skip ahead to a different part in the video, okay? So let's get started. So we begin with Shannon doing her whole feng shui thing, and she's getting her house set up and everything, and Vicki is doing a little moving around as well. So Shannon is with the feng shui master, the lady she's been working with, and she has to do all this stuff, and the woman is talking about the appliances in the home, talking about the stove is male and the sink is female, and I was like, what? Wait. And then Shannon was even confused. Shannon is like, why do my appliances have genders? Like, since when do appliances have genders? And then she said something like, my refrigerator has two doors that swing out, so I guess my refrigerator goes both ways or something like that. I was laughing so hard. Like, this was the moment that reminded me why I like Shannon so much, because she is funny and she cracks a lot of jokes. She makes me laugh. She was a little off this episode, but I like her. She's funny as hell to me. And then Vicki was in her office. I guess she's moving to another office or whatever, and she was talking about how she wasn't working with Shannon's feng shui lady again because it was all a crock of shit. And that, this feng shui lady wanted her to have 9 oranges, and every week they had to go buy new oranges, and they were so sick of it. And then they cut to Shannon, and she back in the kitchen with the lady with the feng shui, and she's like, I don't have my 9 lemons today. And the lady's like, where's your lemons? Like, it was so funny to me that they really were, like, having a conversation. What is the whole deal with 9 lemons and 9 oranges? Like, I've heard of lucky number 7 and stuff like that, but what's with the number 9? Like, I didn't know that there was like something special about the number 9. Maybe there is. Maybe I missed it. I'll look it up in numerology. Who knows? I might figure out something. But I thought that was kind of funny. Like, I was trying to figure out, like, first of all, it really made me laugh when she was talking about the sink is female and the stove is male. I was like, am I the only one who thinks that's kind of weird? Like, what is she talking about? Like, I didn't get it. And then when she said her refrigerator goes both ways, I was laughing so hard. Like, Shannon, she really made me laugh, and that is why I like Shannon so much, because she makes me laugh. Even though she has her moments where she's a little off, she is still funny as hell. And another thing that I did see with Shannon, I will quickly say, is that later on in the episode, she was getting her daughter Sophie ready and her friends ready for this little winter formal. They had some short little dresses on, but it was cute. And the girls were like really adorable and all that stuff. So that was cute. And I'm really happy for Shannon with her daughters and stuff. They growing up and they're really adorable and everything. And her twins are growing up and all that stuff. So that was like a cute little moment. I was happy to see that. So anyway, we move on and we met Peggy, because I was expecting to really meet her last episode, but we didn't. So we meet her this episode. She's the newest housewife. I'm always excited to meet a new housewife because sometimes it can get boring and mundane with the same housewife every single season. So I was glad, last season they shook it up with Kelly, and Kelly definitely shook things up. And then, this season they bring Peggy. I want to see what she'll bring to the show. But they definitely have money. Her husband name is Dyko or something. I don't know, I might have pronounced it wrong. But anyway, he owns a luxury car company and all of that stuff. And he pulled up in a black and white Rolls Royce drop top. I was like, that's a nice car. I'm not really into the whole black and white thing on the cars. And it's like all the cars. So maybe that's his signature or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I wasn't really here for the black and white, but I was here for the cars. Did you see the garage with the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis and all of that stuff? Like, they got major bread. And then they showed up to do like a little photo shoot with Doug and Lydia, because they have their new magazine, Nobleman. I guess they sold their other one to their business partners, so they started this one. And Peggy and her husband, they're posing for it and all that stuff, and like, that was really cute. So she was saying that she's not Persian, she's Armenian, excuse me. She's Armenian, and she's from Kuwait, and he's from Beirut. And so, they have like this great family and all this stuff, and they were showing their home. They have a beautiful home, and all of that. They did talk about the fact that, her mother died of breast cancer and she had a double mastectomy, which was really sad, but I'm glad that, she doesn't have cancer. It was just like something that was done as preventative, not something that she, where she was really diagnosed. So kudos to the doctors for getting that out of the way before, something negative happened, because if she already lost her mother with cancer, a lot of people have lost their family with cancer. I lost my grandmother. So, I mean, it does happen. So I'm glad that there was nothing wrong and that she's okay. Everything's all right with her. But I did see that the husband was like super excited that she's okay and everything went well. So he bought her a $85,000 necklace. But I wasn't even dying over the necklace. I was dying over the bracelet. Did you see the bracelet? The bracelet was like 70 grand. That bracelet was everything. That bracelet was absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna like her already, because when I watch these Real Housewives shows, I like it when they have somebody on there where you can look at their lifestyle and be like, damn, now that's what I'm talking about. Like, her lifestyle is A1. Well, I mean, like, what else can you say about it? She had like that bracelet. I like died. Like, oh my god, it was absolutely gorgeous. Their home is gorgeous. Like I said, that garage, when they showed that garage, I was like, you better work. She said she don't even know how many cars they have, and none of their cars are borrowed or rented. They own every single car that they have. Like, that's boss right there. That is boss stuff right there. Okay, so as you can see, I am liking Peggy already. So welcome to the group, Peggy. I think you're gonna work out fine. Okay, so let's keep it moving. We move on to Miss Meghan. So happy for Meghan. She got the baby she always wanted, the life she always wanted. She's with Jim still, obviously. They're happy. They look a lot happier than they did last season. And he looks like a really hands-on dad. Oh, the baby had a tummy ache. It was so sad, and the baby was like spitting up a little bit and stuff. But the baby was super cute, and then they got in the car, and they went on a little road trip or wherever they were going. I'm not even sure what they had going on, but they looked super cute. I loved it. I love her little family. So I'm excited to see what happens when Meghan gets back to mix and mingling with the rest of the girls. I'm super excited to see that. So looking forward to Meghan joining up with the rest of the girls in the group and everything like that. So let's move on to Kelly and Michael, because they are the couple that bickers all the time. They are the Bickersons, and they are always bickering, and we see them in the car, and somebody was honking a horn, I guess. Michael did something in the car that somebody didn't like, and they honked, and she was like, why do you drive like that, this and that, and all this stuff. And he was like, of course, it's always my fault. And I was just like, okay, this is Kelly and Michael I remember from last season. And she did say that she wanted to be nicer to him this season, because she didn't like the way she spoke to him and talked about him and all of that stuff last season. So she's going to be better this season. So we'll see. And then they were exercising together. They were getting a little workout on. That was cute. Everything. So they look like they're happy for the moment. I'm happy for them and everything. That was nice. So, we got to get to the good stuff, because the good stuff that happened this episode was the party for Ava. Ava is Tamara's granddaughter. She's turning 2. She's adorable, and they had it with all these little pets and wild animals and cages and all of this stuff. It was really nice. That was great. So they were showing Tamara and Ava's mom. They were hanging out talking or whatever. I don't really know what's going on with Ryan and the baby mama. They look like they always getting into it. I don't know if they really meant for each other. I don't know if they together or they not. I think Tamara said she's not even really sure if they're together, but they never really seem that happy to me, ever. But whatever. Hey, if you like it, I love it. But I don't think they like it, because they was not looking like they were feeling each other. Like, I thought they was about to start arguing over an umbrella. I wasn't really sure what was going on. Now, anyway, then we get to Tamara talking about how she unfriended Brianna on social media, not because she got a tour with Brianna, but simply because she needed to distance herself as much as possible from Vicki with all the stuff that happened with Vicki. And I think that Brianna is also feeling very uncomfortable, because Vicki had stopped by her house and she was telling Vicki, like, I'm feeling uncomfortable about going to this party. I don't know what's going to happen, and I guess for Brianna, it's just like mixing and mingling with people who are enemies of her mother and all this stuff, but she doesn't want to isolate her kids. She still wants her kids to know other children their age around that neighborhood and everything, but at the same time, certain people don't really care for her mom and all that stuff. So then she gets to the party, and when she gets there, her and Tamara avoid each other like the plague. They don't talk, they don't speak to each other, they don't even say hello. So that is very awkward. And then Brianna ended up leaving early because you could just, she said she wasn't feeling well, and I know that Brianna has had some medical issues in the past, so maybe she wasn't feeling well. And then her son had a band-aid on his head. They didn't really say what happened to him, but maybe he had fell or something. So, she ended up leaving with her son and everything. So, her and Tamara didn't get to talk. I'm guessing at one point in the season they will have a conversation. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later, because they always had a really great relationship. But I get it, like, at the end of the day, that's still Brianna's mom, so there's a sense of loyalty. And for Tamara, it's very awkward because she's beefing with Vicki. So, they're kind of like going back and forth a little bit. They don't really know, where their relationship stands at this point. So Brianna actually ended up leaving and not really saying anything to Tamara, and it was just an awkward situation. So hopefully they're able to work it out. And then what was up with Lydia's mom putting fairy dust all over Tamara's chest, like rubbing it up and down her chest, like over and over again? I was like, okay, like I was trying to figure out what was going on, but I like Lydia's mom. She, for some reason, she just like this free spirit, kind of like goofy, silly. Like I like Lydia's mom, but I like Lydia as well. So that's just me. Well, anyway, after that, Lydia gets to sit down, and she's talking to Shannon, and she's telling Shannon about the dinner with Vicki. And as she's talking to her and telling her, what happened and all of this stuff, Shannon was kind of like not here for it, and it wasn't really that much said. Maybe they edited some things out, but before you knew it, Shannon was like, I think Vicki's obsessed with me and all of this stuff, and all of this. And then when Lydia's mom walks up, she's like throwing confetti and stuff like that on Shannon, like telling her she has good energy and she likes her energy and all this stuff. But they're just like not, I don't think Shannon and Lydia, their chemistry, just from the moment they started talking, it seemed a little off to me. It just seemed like something wasn't right. And I guess I was right, and maybe y'all sensed it too, because soon as Shannon, Lydia, and Tamara sit down and start talking about Vicki, Shannon is telling Lydia, like, be cautious. She makes allegations about people's husbands, because remember, Vicki was like, there are rumors about Eddie being gay, and there are, I know stuff about David supposedly beating Shannon and all of this stuff. So Shannon is like, you just need to be careful, because we don't know about her. Like, she can be a lot, and she spreads rumors and all of that stuff. And Shannon was kind of not letting Lydia get a word in edgewise. I think Lydia was getting a little annoyed, and she says to Shannon, you guys are acting the same way that she is. And you could tell by the look on Tamara's face, Tamara didn't appreciate the comment, and Shannon was definitely offended. She made it very clear that she was offended. And that's when Shannon starts bringing up the cancer lie and that Vicki was in on it. And I'm like, come on, not another year of talking about the cancer situation. Like, oh, we've been talking about this cancer stuff for like, what, a good 4 or 5 years now? Like, come on. Like, when is it over? When does it end? Like, is it? Oh, my goodness. I'm so sick of talking about that and the whole Brooke situation and all of that. Like, come on. And then Shannon starts talking about she gained 40 pounds because of Vicki. And I'm like, no, ma'am. Now, you can blame a lot of things on Vicki, but you can't blame her as the reason why you gaining weight. You, first of all, you probably gaining weight because you stressed out about your husband. Because David is not known for his fidelity. So that's probably why you really gaining weight, because you are like trying to figure out what's going on as far as your husband and what he's out here doing or what he's not doing, or whether he's faithful or and all this stuff like that. And I mean, maybe there's some stress because you are on a television show and all of the stuff that she's saying, and whether or not he beat you and all this stuff, because there was a police report, but the police report was about something else and all this stuff. So it's just drama, and she feels some sort of way about it. So Shannon, she just is upset, and Tamara says that she feels like Shannon is emotionally expressive and that she needs to calm down, because when Shannon starts getting agitated, she talks with her hands a lot. and she can come off kind of harsh, a little bit abrasive. And she was coming off that way. And she was raising her voice. So when Lydia walks away, she goes to talk to her mom. And she's like, Mom, she yelled at me. And her mom she was just kind of like trying to explain to her mom what happened. And her mom was like, she yelled at you because she's a lost soul. So at first, she was saying she liked her energy and all this stuff. And then she's like, she's a lost soul. So, I guess you could be a lost soul and have good energy or whatever. But, Shannon didn't really feel like she screamed at Lydia. She didn't feel like it was anything wrong with the way she handled the situation. I personally do think that Shannon overreacted. And I'm not afraid to say that, even though I am a fan of Shannon. I do think she overreacted. Lydia went on to say that she thinks that Shannon is obsessing about everything. And then, Shannon definitely did not appreciate that and was like, I'm not obsessing about anything, blah, blah, blah. And Lydia was just like, we're not going to get along. And that's what I like about Lydia too, though. Like, she's very much a sweetheart, but she's also very honest, and she is upfront. And if she feels a certain way, she's going to tell you. And I remember that from her first season. Like, if she feels something, you are going to know it. So she was just like, I don't feel like we're going to get along. And I was just like, oh, this could be a whole other issue. And then, Shannon, I guess as a dig, was like, well, I don't care because your mother, as she was walking away, she was like, your mother said that I have a bright light. And Lydia was like, well, she also said you were a lost soul. So, I was dying laughing because the two of them getting into it kind of made me laugh. I like both of them a lot, so I'm not really taking sides, although I do think Shannon overreacted a little bit. But what can you expect? It is Shannon. Shannon is known for overreacting a little bit, but she still is a good addition to the show. She still makes for good TV. This is going to be a good cast. This is going to be a good season, I feel like. So, the next episode, the previews, they look really good. First of all, I don't understand why Shannon would agree to be in the gym with her shirt off, with the sports bra on, if she's feeling so insecure about her looks and having that lack of confidence and stuff like that. Like, I think that Shannon is definitely a beautiful woman and all this stuff, but if you are not feeling yourself and you are feeling a lack of confidence, why would you agree to be there in that way if you are so insecure about your weight and your size? Like, maybe she had a way of thinking about it that maybe I'm not getting, but I certainly wouldn't have agreed to do that if I was uncomfortable with my size or my shape, or I had gained 40 pounds, as she said, or anything like that, and I was uncomfortable with it. I certainly wouldn't be there like that. Then we see they're going to go to dinner, and it's going to be a hell of a fight because Kelly shows up, and maybe they didn't know Kelly was going to be there, and Shannon acts a damn fool with Kelly at the table, and Kelly starts telling Shannon she needs some medication for her to balance her hormones or something like that. So I was like, oh my God, it's about to get good. I cannot wait. So everybody watch out for episode 3. That's when the drama hits the fan, because sometimes Orange County starts off a little slower, but they always have a dramatic season. They do. Orange County and Atlanta are like two Housewives shows that I know are going to have a dramatic season. New Jersey used to be like that before Teresa went away. Now that Teresa's gone away, she's trying to like clean up her act. So you never know what you're going to get with their season. I don't even know what their next season is going to be, but Orange County and Atlanta, they very rarely disappoint me. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see next episode. So I will catch y'all back here next week. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next week. All right. Thanks, guys. Mwah. Bye.